Greetings, everyone. This is Cassandra Faye Floyd, also known as Daughter of the Fates, founder of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. And I am back, relatively recovered from a night of birthday bliss. You understand? So that is what I am going to talk to you about tonight. I'm going to talk to you about one, why I've been missing in action for the last few days, and two, what's been happening over the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, it's been a pretty wild ride this last month and a half. For I think everybody's been feeling kind of like a sense of overwhelm or urgency. A lot of people have been complaining about feeling really tired and not being able to explain why, a little tender-hearted, not able to explain why, very sensitive, easily triggered, you know. And this is the reason that it is important for all of us to at least generally become reacquainted with astrology. Um, yeah. And I say that because once you gain access, and I'm not talking about becoming astrologers, what I'm talking about is having a general base level, like foundational understanding of who we are in relationship to the world around us. And that doesn't just mean the world, planet Earth. That means all of the sister planets in our solar system and the impact that they have on our lives, the relationship that we have with them as a planet, not just as individuals, as a planet, the relationship that we have with these planets, these celestial bodies, and the impact that not only they can have on us, but that we have on them. And if we can, just start to entertain a very basic understanding of astrology, then when these big energy shifts happen, when these big movements happen, we won't feel crazy. We'll have an understanding of what's happening. It demystifies what's happening, and then we can adjust our attitude, adjust our life, adjust our movings about based on this general understanding that we have. So I tell y'all all the time, I am not an astrologer. Eventually I will be, where I study the science, I study the craft. But right now I just am, I am one through this channel who facilitates complicated ideas from astrologers that I like and that I resonate with in a way and in a language that you guys can digest for your daily life, right? And so I'm saying that because there are a couple of really radical, big ass heavenly movements that have happened over the last month and a half that, if you were in the know, would explain what was happening in your life, what was happening in your behavior, what was happening with others around you. And it wouldn't have been a mystery, and you could have been better prepared. Things seem like chaos when we don't know what is happening. It doesn't seem like chaos if we're in the know, right? And so last month, we kicked in the door of this beach, with a big ass super moon. It's the first week of August. The second week of August was the 8/8 portal, or some people know it as the Lion's Gate portal. There was, our annual meteor shower. And then shortly after that, thank you, sister. Shortly after that, 7 planets stationed retrograde. 7 planets stationed retrograde. And they've been just posted up in retrograde motion up until today. Thank you. Who is the Facebook user? For some reason, I can never see who the Facebook user is through StreamYard. Tell me who it is. And thank you so much. Thank you for my hair compliment. It took a long time. It took a long, long time. But anyway, Salami, I kind of figured. Yay! Um, so anyway, um, today Mercury station direct. So we are officially today out of Mercury retrograde, right? But up until today, 7 planets have been in retrograde. All the outer planets, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, Pluto, those are heavy hitting, slow moving planets. And when any planet goes retrograde, we get caught up, especially when we don't understand or we just hear people say it. Oh my God, Mercury retrograde, right? Any retrograde is nothing for us to fear. This is a general lecture prefacing what's been happening as I go into what's been happening personally with me. Okay, there is no reason to fear any planet going into retrograde. If you have, again, a very elementary understanding of what these terminologies mean and what it means in the real world for you, right? So with these big planets, and they're kind of like the really deep, mystical planets, the planets that control our dreams, the heavenly realm's ability to communicate something to us through our dreams, through our subconscious, through those things that we don't give a lot of space to in our daily lives. We don't give a lot of space to our subconscious. We don't give a lot of space to dream interpretation. Why I had that crazy ass dream last night? We keep it pushing, we keep it moving because we quote, got shit to do. Got shit to do. Hit the floor, run it. Boom, I got this, such and such and such and such. And a lot of the time, I would tell you, even how we approach spirituality it seems like busy work to me. Well, I got to make sure that at this time on this day, I do this ritual for this reason. And then I have to make sure that I do my affirmations at least 15 times. Like we become very methodical about even our approach to spirituality. We become very cerebral about our approach to spirituality. Retrograde, hey, retrograde calls on us to slow the hell down. There is something I need for you to pay attention to, and you cannot if you are busy. You cannot if you are moving. If you are moving, what's the word I'm looking for? On autopilot through your life. If you are moving in autopilot through your life, retrogrades are something that you should welcome and not run from. You should welcome retrogrades because whether you want to or not, retrogrades are going to pump the brakes on your life. Retrogrades are going to pump the brakes on your busy shit. You feel me? Retrogrades are like the moment when you've been hearing, like a knock at the door, right? In your busy life, you've been hearing a knock at the door, but it's low, and you just don't pay it attention. Sometimes through like a synchronicity, or sometimes through a deja vu. You feel me? You'll be like, and then you'll hear it for a second, and then you'll shrug it off. Because why? You too busy in the head. You got shit to do, right? The tap 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 tap. The tap 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 tap. Retrograde is like, okay, police knock, boom 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 boom, and it don't stop until you open the door, or they kick the door in. You understand what I'm saying? And so I'm prefacing this way because I'm in the know. And it has made the difference. Because even these astrologers that I pay attention to, that I respect, I mention them all the time, Tanya Gabrielle, and I'm always open to like listening to new astrologers and their interpretations, because everybody comes from their particular frame of reference and worldview. So it will impact even their interpretations of like how these movements are going to impact the group. So Tanya Gabrielle, Pam Gregory, Rasa Leela, healing, and so on and so forth. So these are all like really nice and varied in their approach astrologers that I like to check in with. And so in preparing, so I started the week of August off in ceremony. I went to this retreat. It was an ayahuasca retreat, and I went on the 10th of August. I went on the 10th of August, and we were there for 4 days out in Desert Hot Springs, Southern California. And I was going as like support and in the capacity of a healer. So I was offering my services to people who were going to be doing ceremony and they need, the kind of medicine that allows you to like be in your body, to integrate the medicine in a way that it's not like shocking. There were a lot of first timers there, but I had made up my mind that I wasn't. Thanks, Letitia. I had made up my mind that I wasn't going to do ayahuasca. It had been 2 years since I had done ayahuasca, and I said the last time I did it, I would never do it again. You feel me? But one day of the 4 days, I actually did ayahuasca again. So that's how I kicked off this whole 7 planets in retrograde beginning. Right? Was in ceremony out in the desert, which was amazing. It's a story for another day. I will tell you what happened in that ceremony eventually, but that's how I started off. I was telling you guys I did a whole live on it. That August 8th, which is the Lionsgate portal, and it is also called like the 8-8 portal or the Lionsgate portal, but it is also Global Female Orgasm Day, or no, National Female Orgasm Day. And so even though I'll tell you a story about being able to balance, being able in a moment through the guiding power of your own intuition. What is intuition? It's trust. It's self-trust. That's what it is. Being able to marry what you've learned, your knowledge, what you've learned, what you've acquired as information, and marry that with your flesh, because your intuition is your flesh, baby. It's your flesh. The signs of intuition that we acknowledge, right? Like butterflies in the stomach, like goosebumps, like hairs on the back of your neck standing up. This is the flesh responding to inner knowing. It is. And so when you can take those two things, the things that you've acquired as information or knowledge, marry that with your intuition and let your ceremony be your own, to not be dogmatic. Oh, this is a whole word for a whole, to not be dogmatic and rigid in your approach to communicating with spirit. You understand? So, I was a part of this kind of like WhatsApp group of the people that were going to be this ceremony, this ayahuasca ceremony. There were 38 of us. And so the weeks leading up to, we were communicating through this group chat. And, I don't know if anybody who has not done ayahuasca, so there is a preparation that is required of you leading up to ceremony. Leading up to ceremony, it is recommended that you do what they call a dieta. It's a diet. A dieta, or restricted diet, for 3 weeks leading up to the ceremony. And so it's really restrictive. But the thing that they also require is up at like the week before, certain deeper abstinences, right? So, they don't want you to do any psychedelics. They don't want you to smoke marijuana or drink alcohol. They don't want you to have sex, right? So there are things that, that are required of you before entering into ceremony with this plant, right? Now, I was still participating in dieta for the specific purpose of, and I didn't go rigid in the dieta, but I did like a nominal dieta in preparation, because I was like, all right, I want to be open in terms of preparation in the event that while I'm there, spirit challenges me to do this medicine again, right? So I didn't want to be fucked up in the game, not having done together, trying to do ayahuasca. So the 8-8 portal, the Lionsgate portal, was 2 days before we were leaving. Now, and mind you, everybody is abstaining from sex at this point because that's required for the week leading up to doing this medicine. So in the hey, how you doing? Good. So in the group chat, I make mention. I say, I recognize that we are all in the process of abstaining for the coming ceremony this week. However, I think that because of what this week is, and I explained all the big movements, the Lion's Gate, the this and that and such, the coming meteor shower and all of this that was happening. I said, I really want to encourage you all to take advantage of today, which is National Female Orgasm Day. That if you are in a relationship, make sure that your female partner, if you have a female partner, is sexually satisfied. Make sure that she has plenty of orgasms today. If you are not partnered, women, make sure that you gift yourself plenty of orgasms today. And while people were, laughing and generally like intrigued by the information, not one person, and I asked when we got there, not one person took that call seriously or took that call to heart. And I did, you understand, because I am not rigid in my approach to ceremony, to ritual, to my relationship with spirit. It is no coincidence. I am sure some witch somewhere who had the idea to create National Female Orgasm Day recognized that women's orgasm is tapping into the portal that is female bodies, uterus carrying bodies. That is the one glimpse that we have at seeing the face of God, at through pleasure. That pleasure is ceremony, that pleasure is ritual, and it is important to incorporate this into those things that we find sacred and ceremonial or whatever. But again, and it's not a condemnation or criticism. Everybody can do what they want to do, but I just feel like it's such a lost opportunity because we become so rigid and unwavering and dogmatic in our approach to to ritual or to spirit, that we would miss an opportunity like tapping into the actual physical portal that exists on this planet through pleasuring women, through making it a part of my day to seek out some woman to give pleasure to. You understand what I'm saying? And to see that somehow is a contradiction to entering into ceremony with this medicine. Maybe I didn't lose the opportunity. I didn't miss the opportunity. I had about 7 to 8 orgasms that day, and it was necessary. You understand? Now, going forward, because these things I don't take lightly. Like our disposition, our approach, our attitude is the thing that will and is making all the difference in the world right now. Whether that is a good difference or whether it is a not so good difference, our attitude, our approach, our outlook is what is driving this thing. And so a lot of the astrologers that I had been listening to, were asking us to be very cautious and very, very deliberate in our daily movings and, and being gentle with ourselves, which is great, right? But also, I've been hearing a lot of astrologers that are very, it's like they only see the dark, or I don't even want to use that word, they only see one side of what these planets present or how they move in the world. It's like everybody gets caught up on fear. And so I've been hearing, because the outer planets, the big outer planets, are in retrograde still. I just was hearing a lot of commentary that was not uplifting or positive or like affirming, like, yeah, this is what retrograde means, this is what it's calling on you to do. But you can also tap into retrograde motion, retrograde energy to power up because anyway, so that's what I did. I was like, my 48th birthday is coming up, I'm throwing a party. um you know, there was so much. So one of the things that I do, and I am working on consciously, is I get overwhelmed by tiny tasks. You know what I'm saying? It's like the tiny tasks that pile up like a mountain. You understand? And so I said, okay, step by step, bit by bit, little by little, I am going to chip away at this mountain of tiny tasks that I have just kept rotating on the back burner, rotating on the back burner. I'll get it done later. I'll get it done later. And baby, let me tell you something. I got so much accomplished in the last 6 weeks. Even just going back and thinking, I got so much done in the last 6 weeks. So much. So much. And I feel great. And it is not like the things that I've gotten done in the last 6 weeks were going to be something that slowly paid off. When I say as soon as I got something done, boom, something good was happening. Oh shit, get something else done. Boom. In response, something else big was happening. Something else amazing was happening. Something else good was happening. So over the last 2 weeks, also, I told you guys I had been doing a live about, we talk about what we talk about. And one of the things we were talking about that day was, like the role of evolutionary artists. Like, people can't build what they can't imagine. People cannot build what they cannot see in their mind's eye. I was talking that day about how for the last 120 years, I researched it. There have been over 289, quote, dystopian end of the world movies that have been made. 289, right? And for the last 100 years, between dystopian books and dystopian, movies and shit, we have no lack of imagination about all the ways the world can go to shit. We see it clearly in our mind's eye. You say post-apocalyptic, somebody will run down the gamut of shit. You say end of the world, somebody will run down the gamut of shit. You say what's another word y'all use? Apocalyptic, somebody will run down the gamut of images that have been planted in our mind, priming and prepping us to fear the future. Priming and prepping us to accept that the only future that can exist is one that we should not welcome, is one that we should fear, is one that we should prevent from happening. These movies have primed us to be fearful of evolution, have primed us to be fearful of empowerment, collective, social, sovereign empowerment. These movies have primed us to believe that everyone that we come in contact with, if the shit hit the fan, is a potential enemy. That we can't trust anybody out here. Because, quote, if the shit hit the fan, everybody is going to be out to get what we got. This is what we've been primed to accept. And on the other hand, how many movies can you name off your dome that were utopian movies? That were movies about a glorious future, that were movies about an extraordinary, even when you see movies that look all beautiful and shit about the future, they have some insidious, nasty, foul, sinister undertone. You feel me? And so, like, what was it? Elysium, and what was another one? A bunch of them, right? Where in order to have peace, you have to have a totalitarian government. In order to have a pristine, clean earth, and you have to have a single institution that governs everyone and directs everyone, and you have to sacrifice freedom in order to achieve this future. That freedom and this future are not synonymous. right? And so I'm talking to y'all about how that's the role of the artist in this next period. That is the Renaissance. That is the new Renaissance, is to begin to challenge every last one of these 289 movies that are attempting to terrorize us from the gifts that are coming, right? The future that is inevitable. Evolution is inevitable. The future is inevitable. Growth, expansion is inevitable. The question is, who will direct that? Who will direct that? That's the role of the evolutionary artist in this period. That's why astrology is important, because that's what this period of astrology is about. Entering into the Aquarian age. Everybody talk about the Aquarian age, but don't too many people get real specific about what this mythology, about what this sign represents in the very real, material, applicable world. What is this going to mean on a daily basis to be in the Aquarian age? Well, one of the defining features of the Aquarian age, it's just what I'm talking about, is the end to the idea of the poor, starving artist. Artists are going to shape the future because they are going to embed the seeds in the consciousness of the many that have it within them the skills to create this future that the artist is giving them, this vision that the artist is giving them. Now the people on the ground with the skills can execute that shit because they can see it clearly now in their mind's eye. You see, but you cannot create what you cannot imagine. You see, this is the role of the artist. This is the role of the musician. This is the role of the graffiti artist. This is the role of the dancer. This is the role of every artist, is to take lectures. I don't even want to say lectures. Is to take divine inspiration channeled through human beings who allow the spirit of the mother to come through them and say, this is what I need. This is what I am challenging you to do. Take that and create the art that gives the many the vision that they can then execute and materialize, transforming an abstract idea into a material force able to radically and rapidly reshape everything on the face of the planet. That's what being in an air sign is about. We haven't existed in an air sign age in in 8,000 years. So the Bible details, our move through Taurus, Aries, Pisces, and predicts our transition into the Aquarian age. The Bible philosophically begins in the age of Taurus. So the Bible is supposed to detail 6,000 years of history, okay? A little more than 6,000 years of history. So we haven't been in an air sign since before the Bible was, supposed to be the beginning or whatever. You feel me? That's the age of Gemini. Was the last time that we were in an air sign. And that last time that we were in an air sign, archaeologically, represented a radical, simultaneous, conscious evolution across the planet. That period gave us the age of Gemini, gave us these, what we can't explain even now today. So white people think aliens did it, because whatever they can't explain, it must have been some aliens that did it. But the age of Gemini, this radical collective expansion in human consciousness, was what gave birth to the pyramids throughout the globe, not just in Africa, not just in Egypt, the Americas, and in Asia. All along the equatorial line is where these pyramids start. This happened in the age of Gemini. Rapidly. Why? Because Gemini is an air sign. Gemini is not a water sign. Gemini air signs are not like water signs or earth signs, right? These signs are, or even fire signs for that matter, because Aries was a fire sign. This is the first time in a long time we've been in an air sign. And one of the things that is defined by being in an air sign is rapid expansion, rapid transferring of information. Everything executes quickly. If you look at the sign of Aquarius, Aquarius, first of all, is only one of two signs that have a human being as its as its personification, right? Gemini, okay, twins, but Aquarius is the water bearer, right? It's the man in heaven pouring out the water, right? The water that that Aquarius, because Aquarius, people get confused. Aquarius is an air sign, but he's the water bearer. The water that Aquarius pours out. Think about the nature of water. It can go everywhere. It can penetrate every space. Anything, any space empty, it can penetrate it. It can get into places nothing else can. The water that the water bearer pours out is the water of collective consciousness, rapid transfer of information. That's the water that he pours out over the planet, over the earth. That's where he's pouring it. He ain't pouring it somewhere else. He's pouring this consciousness, this rapid movement onto the planet Earth. That's one thing that defines this age. The other thing that defines this age is beauty. Because the story of Aquarius is actually quite fucked up. The Greek mythology of Aquarius is quite fucked up, like most Greek mythology is. But he was defined, he was sought after, let me put it that way. He was sought after because he was so beautiful. He was coveted because he was beautiful, right? They said he was so beautiful that both males and females coveted him. Now I'm gonna tell you, some of y'all gonna be mad, but that also is one of the things that defines this age. Is this thing that seems to annoy so many, the expansion, the wild and radical expansion in the definition of human sexuality, in the expression of human sexuality and gender for that matter, is a telltale sign of the Aquarian age. Of the Aquarian age, you understand? Art will dominate in the Aquarian age. And now if you take the sign or the mythology of Aquarius and then you talk about, like I do often, the Yoruba mythology about these planets, which is personified as the Orisha Shango. Everybody gets caught up on the fact that Shango, quote, is a war god, the lord of thunder and lightning, right? But what people just conveniently miss is that Shango is also the turn-up man. The dance, the drum, he's always so beautifully dressed, right? Admired by men, loved by women. He is often called beautiful, right? And so here you go again with this philosophy. But the philosophy also, don't miss the party. Don't miss the turn up. Don't miss the importance of celebrating as ritual, celebrating a victory that you have not yet won. Because the celebrating of the victory is to ensure its certainty. Is to ensure its certainty. Party like we done already took this shit so that we can guarantee that we do. Right? Yeah. Yes. Right? So anyway, I don't want to go too deep into that, but it's important. It's important that we are constantly thinking about these things, even as we are navigating through our regular lives, our daily lives, where we got bills to pay and we got things to do. You feel me? That we keep in mind, like what is happening right now in the world. If we can focus our attention, yes, there is a lot of information out there. There is a lot of news that are set to keep your attention off the possibilities, to keep your attention off what you can create, what you can produce, what you can make sure, what you can ensure happens, right? Because if you're constantly thinking about all the things and all the ways that the world is fucked up, then that is energy you are diverting from very real things that you can transform, that you have the power to transform and create. This is the role of the artist. So anyway, I went on that long diatribe because I was doing a live about this whole thing. And this woman reached out to me who was watching the live and inboxed me right after and was like, I'm doing this Afrofuture Comic Con in San Diego. I would love for you to speak. So I go down there this past weekend was when it was. And I posted the video on my YouTube channel if y'all want to check it out. But I posted the video. It was very, you know, it was very, so the setup for the event, the event was dope. Like we had a really good time. It was only their second year doing it. So it wasn't as, quote, official as I kind of expected that it would be. Like, you know, like a stage or a panel. It wasn't like that. It was like I facilitated a very small workshop in an off room somewhere. But the the interaction and I feel like the essence of what I was trying to communicate was dope. I had a great time. It was an awesome opportunity, and I met so many important and great contacts that weekend. So it was, as far as I was concerned, it was a successful weekend. My homeboy Abasi, who is a part of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence, came in last Thursday ride with me to San Diego. And so he has been here to help me celebrate my birthday this week. So he came in and we drove to San Diego, had a great time. And there have been so many, thank you so much, Kay. Thank you. There have been so many like wonderful confirmations throughout this week. So this is the first time I'm saying live. I had been plotting on it for some time and feeling kind of, I don't know, like anxious. I'll be honest, kind of nervous. But this past Tuesday, I auditioned for a band. So we shall see. You took my phone number and all my information, and we will see. I haven't even auditioned. I haven't done an audition since I was 19 of any kind. Now I've sang in bands, several, 4, 5 bands over the last 20 years. But you know, it was like how the thing just unfolded, or they heard me at an open mic night and was like, all right, cool, can you come sing with our band type of shit. But to actually like have to schedule an appointment and go and audition, I hadn't done that since I was in music school. So that was kind of stressful, but it was cool. I had a good time. I had a great time, and I went and auditioned. And then, so that happened this week. And the whole time, I just kept saying, the whole time, the whole week, my mantra, you know, the saying, fortune favors the bold. Like, just do it. Just do it. Just do it, do it, do it. Doesn't matter. Even if you're scared, do it anyway. Even if you're anxious, do it anyway. Fortune favors the bold. So I woke up one morning, I was like, bitch, fortune favors the fabulous. Let me do my hair. Greetings, my Amy. I was like, let me do my hair. Let me do my makeup. You understand? It took me, just so y'all know, it took me 3.5 days to do my hair. And I mean, sitting for hours at the time each of those days. It took me a long time to do my hair. So I was like, let me look fabulous, because fortune favors the fabulous. That's my new mantra. I accept that fortune favors the bold, which is why I went out there and did some shit that I haven't done since I was 19 years old. But I needed to be fabulous when I did it. So I did it anyway. So we shall see. Thank you, my Amy. Y'all are like really tripping off my hair, I know. Yeah, it took forever. It sure did. I love it though. Then today, because I'm like, okay, I have all of these skills. I need to be, you know, until do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do type of thing. So I did hair for about 15 years. And there's a shop here on Melrose Avenue called Lockefeller Group. Very cute. And it's a lock studio. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do my hair. You feel me? And I'm going to go in there with my hair looking all cute and tell them I need a job. You feel me? So I went in there today, and I was still, I'll be honest, I was still hungover because I ain't even told you about my birthday party yet. I was hungover, but I was still looking, you know, fly. And so I went in there just like this, just like y'all see me right now. I went in there today to go talk to a manager or something about a job. And as soon as I walked in, before I could even say anything, all the sisters, there was like 6 sisters in there doing hair. So there's about 12 people in there. All the sisters looked to the door and were like, "Oh my God." Everybody in the studio started screaming, "Oh my God, girl, look at your hair. Oh shit, it's so fabulous. Girl, that's amazing. Girl, turn around." I was like, "Oh my God, I feel like a rock star walking in here. Y'all are too nice." It was like, "Girl, your hair is fly." They like went all the way in. It was so funny. It's so flattering, right? So when I came in, and after the hoopla was over, they were like, "Baby, how can we help you?" I said, "I need a job." Why y'all doing all this hooping and hollering over my hair? They were like, "You did your hair?" I said, "Yes, I did. Yes, I did." They were like, "You do interlocking?" I said, "Yes, I do. Yes, I do." They were like, "Girl, we've been looking for somebody. Let me give you a phone number." That happened today. So I auditioned for a band Tuesday. Might have a lock job as of today. You feel me? We shall see. And I have an event that I'm vending at tomorrow, so I gotta pull an all-nighter. I gotta make a whole bunch of jewelry tonight. And yeah. So now let me tell you about my party, and then I'm gonna end this. Okay. So in typical Virgo fashion, if anybody is a Virgo or knows a Virgo, they know that this thing is not peculiar to me. I know a lot of Virgos, and I have met so many Virgos who throw their own birthday parties. We do that, right? Now, typically, my parties are always functional. I am the type of person. I want all the awesome people that I know. I want them to all know each other, right? And so that was my idea. So I got an open mic. I like hosted kind of like an open mic type of thing, right? I wanted people to get up on the mic and talk about who they are. Like if you have a business or if you have skills or whatever, you never know. Somebody in here might need the skills that you got, right? So a friend of mine, Kevin Sandbloom, y'all should look him up. He performed. So I said, "Kevin, you need to do a set at my party because the place that I'm having the event is always looking for new, fresh acts. So you need to do a set, and I'm gonna make sure that the manager is in the party at the time that you're doing the set." And then also he just released an album 3 weeks ago, so I was like, "Make sure that you are primed to tell people about your album, sell it if you need, like set up a table to sell it here if you need to, whatever." So Kevin did a dope ass set last night. And then I know a lot of musicians. I always have. I'm a musician. I gravitate towards musicians. So several people performed last night. This young Indian man named Taj is an incredible singer. He sang last night. I'm gonna be posting a lot of this stuff over the next few days. Akemi sang. My neighbor Tommy plays like the hong. It's like the little weird inverted steel drum. It's like a hand drum. And so he played that. It was dope. I sang. And it's funny because as long as I've known some of these people, most of them were like, "We didn't know you sang. How does this happen? How did we not know after 5 years you sang?" It's one of those things, right? Yeah, but it was so really wonderful. It was just a nice crowd. Plus, let me just tell you, the place I want to shout out is the Bourbon Room Hollywood. So I go into the Bourbon Room a lot because it's in my neighborhood. I can walk there. It's like 4 blocks away. And they have really great concerts. They have a big concert hall on one side. They have this cute little lounge where they have like, lounge acts and, little jazz combos, like small music acts. And so I was like, "Look, how much y'all gonna charge me to use this lounge?" Now I had made up my mind. I was just asking around because I knew it was gonna be expensive, right? And I wasn't trying to get no place expensive, but I was just filling out the price. Long story short, the manager, I said, "Okay, I want to have a party. I would love to have it in the lounge." He said, "How many people are coming?" I said, "Anywhere from 25 to 40. He said, "Are they going to drink?" I said, "Yes." "Are they going to eat?" "Yes." I said, "Okay." He said, "Okay." He said, "You can have the room." I was like, "Okay, how much is it going to cost me?" He was like, "As long as people are eating and drinking, you can have the place for free." Child, the Bourbon Room Hollywood gave me the lounge and didn't charge me a penny. They gave me the sound system guy who set up the PA and the mic and everything for my open mic. Like, they blessed me. They blessed me with that space. It was dope. When you see the pictures, you're going to be like, "Oh my God." Like it was really, really, really nice. They were really accommodating. The bartenders were so hype. They were just really accommodating. It was really cool. So that was a blessing, right? Then, um, let me just tell you, I don't know if you guys have heard me complain about it, but I've been in California 5 years, and I can count on one hand how many times I have been in the Pacific Ocean. I moved out here from Florida, from the Gulf side of Florida. So when you go to the beach and you get in the water, you can swim. You can backstroke. The water's so calm. You can backstroke. You can actually swim laps. You understand what I'm saying? So when I was in Florida, baby, easily we were going to the beach 2 or 3 days a week, full on to the beach like for 2, 3, 4 hours, right? My hair was so different then because I was always in the water, right? And so I was just complaining a couple of weeks ago about that. Man, I really miss the beach. Like I don't go out to the beach, but it's only been a few times that I've been in the water. The water is extraordinarily cold year round. The water is so like the waves are so big that it creates like it's just really choppy. It's really hard to even stand up good in the water because it's so rough out here. Plus, um, plus there's always riptides. Like I almost got caught in a riptide. There's riptides out here, but there is no swimming in that water. Like I never see people just like when I was in Florida, just swimming laps out there, swimming out to the buoys. And, there's no swimming out there. Like you can play in the water, people play in the water, but just like to be out there to expect you about to get some exercise, that don't happen. So me and my homeboy Abasi, who's here, went to the beach on Wednesday, and we were just gonna go, breathe in some of the negative ions. You feel me? Soak up some sun. It's like, he was like, you know, like we need to get a few shades darker out this joint. I was like, I'm with you. So we went out there. We were out there for a long time, but finally, I was like, you know what? I took some things to make offerings too because it was on the eve of this new moon. So I made offerings at the saltwater, and then the next day, this was Tuesday because Wednesday we went up to the mountains. So Tuesday we went to the beach, spent all day at the beach. I made my offerings at the beach, and then the next day we went to hike up this mountain where there's a river, and I made my freshwater offerings up in the mountains. But I get in this water after making my offering. I get in the water. Well, I'm in the water while I'm making my offering. And then I was like, man, I could not believe how warm the water was. The Pacific Ocean is the kind of cold that if you're, quote, just wading in the water is so cold it hurts your feet. It hurts. Like frostbite hurt. And so I got in the water, I'm like, oh my God, the water is so warm. This is wild. Like it's so warm. I was like, I didn't even bring clothes, no towel, no nothing. I'm about to get in this water. I'm about to go in. I spent like 2 hours in that water, and it felt like a baptism. I for, I forgot how much I missed the ocean. Man, it felt like I left 20 pounds of stress in that water. It felt like I'm a healer. I put my hands on people all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time. And I do the things, I clear myself energetically. I got my different things that I make to put on my body and shit like that. But baby, there is nothing that takes the place of oceanic baptism. I'm telling you, it felt like the 5 years that I've been here putting my hands on people, that all of that little microscopic shit of theirs that I have accumulated over the years, honey, was left right there in the water behind me. It was such an epically, perfectly beautiful day. It listen, I was so happy. The whole day was just epically perfect. Epically perfect. Wednesday was the same way. We got up early, hiked out to Eaton Canyon, went down to the water, played some music for Oshun, left some gifts for her in the water. Child, laid under a tree, under a big mother stone, on top of a big mother stone. Oh, these last 2 weeks have been so, so, so blessing filled, so wonderful, so wonderful. So wonderful. So I had a great birthday. Um, I had a great birthday, and everybody's presence was such a gift and such a confirmation. You know, such a confirmation. And today I, did a little running around, and now after doing this live, I'm about to go get started on some jewelry making. This little all nighter on a pool, and yeah. So I just wanted to check in with you guys. Let's see. Kay says she left California for Florida. I heard, I get it, but I would never. As much as I love the water in Florida, I wouldn't live there again. Nope, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Couldn't pay me to do it. When I was at Huntington Beach in 2020, I was like, why the hell is the water so cold? My mother and I were totally caught. I'm telling you, it's shocking. A cleansing and water wanted you in another beautiful space. The ocean is a reset space, absolutely. Yeah, so that's what I did. That's how I spent my birthday week. So today, Mercury Station Direct. So take some direct action. You understand? Be mindful of how you communicate with people, and be deliberate in that communication. Be purposeful and affirming. You understand? Be positive and affirming in that communication. Um, some things are coming down the pike in terms of like happenings and events. Y'all know this time of year after Labor Day, everything just seems to like take off. So keep yourselves tuned in to happenings. I'm not going to do a temple service tomorrow because maybe not. Let me think about that. Let me think on it for tonight. Let me think on it. Yeah, let me think on it because I got a lot to do. I got a jack move to pull this weekend. Let me think about it. It might be but you know what? What I'll do is I'll do a temple service, but it'll be a short one. It'll be a 1 hour temple service tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, but it'll only be for 1 hour. Okay, so that'll happen tomorrow. I'll post it up today so you can tune in, and then next week Monday I will start back again with our 1 hour, 1 hour whatever I'm gonna do, my 1 hour live Monday through Friday, and then the 2 hour temple service on Saturday at 11 a.m. Okay. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the birthday wishes. Thanks for the birthday gifts. Thanks for the birthday shout outs. There's a ton of people I want to shout out, but y'all know who y'all are, and the shout outs are coming. Stay on my Facebook page because I'll be posting, especially like in the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence group, I'll be posting a lot of pictures from the last few days. I got really wonderful shots and really wonderful video footage of those who performed at my birthday party. So that being said, I'm going to close it out for tonight. Say thank you very much. Peace, prosperity, and boundless happiness to all of you. Times 9. Have a good night.